Question from Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, PJ.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. I understand this is similar to asking about slowing down Kevin Durant, but Chris Paul in the pick and roll is, probably the best in the league. For you guys, how do you try to make it more difficult on him when he is kind of so good at manipulating things?
Just not doing the same thing every time. Knowing personnel, where we're at, who's setting the screen, who's weak side, who's strong side. So much goes along the lines of pick and roll defense, and it's not the same. It's never the same. No two pick and rolls are the same. It's always different people in it. So it's just deciphering that and making the right decisions and calls at the point of the screen, whether it's going over or under. Knowing the space on the floor. I can go on forever. It's a lot. So that's what makes it tough.
So often they put Devin in the weak side corner, so you guys can't really help. So it really does turn it kind of into a two-man game. How do you try to counter that? I know it just means maybe staying a little bit tighter or maybe not helping as much. But if it is just two guys that got to handle it, it gets tough.
Yeah, but it depends on who the two guys are. Like I said, personnel plays such a big part in that. And even with having Book in the corner, you still got to be in, got to show bodies, got to make the paint look packed, and it's hard. It's hard to be able to go from being in to closing out on him. Maybe the ball's coming, you got it. He's gonna attack, squaring him up, send him to the next pick and roll. Is that a switch? Is that we're in coverage. Like it's a lot and it's fast, and you gotta make quick decisions really fast. That's what makes winning hard.
Would I be right in saying that CP and Devin are like more comfortable in the final 5 seconds of the shot clock than most people? Like it feels like they can go to like a couple different actions and they will run their stuff until like the very bitter end.
I guess you can say that. I guess that's what makes them who they are and why they're good players. Most good players are like that. You get to that shot at any time, get to the basket, pull up, whatever. They can just score. So any player like that, it's tough.
Go to Lori. Go ahead.
Hey, PJ, I'm switching gears a little bit. At the Brooklyn Game 7, you had a lot of Greek fans there, right, because of the Antetokounmpos. So I had two questions. The first one, did you notice, was it a presence? Like on TV, I don't know that we could tell, but when you were there, could you feel them? Because everybody else is obviously rooting for the Nets.
You on the road, I have no idea. Like, it's so loud, and this year it's been crazy. Fans finally came back in arenas. Like, every series has been crazy on the road, so you really can't. I don't know. Like, I assume everybody's against us when we're on the road, so I didn't know.
And then the other part of that is the NBA has a huge international following, and you have an appreciation for the overseas basketball.
Sure.
How do you know that here? Do you have any fans reach out to you from across the country, or do you have any stories? I don't think you have a whole lot of social media stuff, but you do have fans. How do you know about them or hear from them?
Yeah, I do. China's like incredible. Like I go to China every summer and it's like insane. You go over there and people might know you. I think people know me, especially like more over there. Like everywhere you go, it's like crazy, insane. So I always enjoy going to China every summer, 2 or 3 times. And excited to go back again because it's always a really good time and the fans there are amazing. So.
I'm sorry, why do you go there?
China?
Yeah, just to visit?
Or yeah, I have events and shoe stuff and like it's a lot. It's a huge sneaker culture there and they love it. So it's pretty cool.
We'll go to Zoom for a couple questions. First, Kelsey, go ahead, please.
We'll take the first Zoom question from Ben Steele of the Journal Sentinel. Ben, go ahead, unmute.
Hey, PJ, talking about Chris Paul, I know you guys are both North Carolina guys. Growing up together, I'm sure you had AAU battles against each other. Just first, what do you remember about those days? And now, what's it like, now on the biggest stage, competing against a guy that you've known so long and been teammates with, competing on this big stage?
Just dreaming. Just back then, it was just the dream to be able to do this. When you're kids, your entire life is all based on that, like wanting to be here in these moments and be able to fight for a championship and truly have a chance and making it. Like when you're a kid in your head, you think it's automatic. It's like I'm going to the NBA. Like like nobody can tell you different. So to actually be here and to be able to fight for a championship is everything. And both of us for sure. Like back in the days, like there's a lot of really good players came out of North Carolina, like guys that made it, and every year just getting better and trying to be able to be the best to be able to be here right now. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, we'll take the next one from Darius Joshua of CBS 8.
How you doing, PJ? Kind of going off that, what kind of worked for you all defensively against CP, Devin Booker, kind of in Game 3 that didn't work in those first two games that allowed you guys to have those runs in the second quarter, third quarter, and pull away?
We didn't change a whole lot. I think it was more of just our activity, being able to get through screens, stay connected, show bodies, get out to other guys. It's hard because especially being off the ball, whether to help, whether to stay home, who you guard, and it's so many things that go into it. So, we honestly didn't change a whole lot. We just got better at what we were doing.
Okay, we'll pass it back to Jim in the room.
Thank you. We'll go to Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
I'm just wondering, when you first came here, how much of a feeling out process, how long was just the adjustment of being with a new team? Obviously, you've adapted to this at this point. Just wondering how long that adjustment process was, and at what point did you kind of feel, okay, I'm comfortable here?
It's an ongoing thing. Every day is trying to, figure everything out. When you get traded in the middle of the year, people don't know how hard that is. It's so tough to go from one team to another, whole change of scenery, new people, new everything. And it was, 24, 48-hour turnaround, and you're playing in a game. So, for me, that's something I pride myself in, being able to be a chameleon, kind of get in, feel the situation out, what I need to do to help us win, and so on and so forth. So that's something to this day I'm figuring out every day, just trying to get better, be a better teammate, be a better vet, be a better player, just every day, just, kind of chipping away at it and getting familiar with the whole team. So, I don't think that ever stops.
How much had you studied them before? How much had you just kind of studied the Bucks before you actually arrived here? Had you been able to at all during that kind of transition phase?
Lightly, just from being in the West. We didn't play the Bucks a lot, last few years being in Houston, but I watch games. I'm an NBA fan, so I watch a lot of games and watching them play. And as players, you can kind of tell where you fit in. Like, yeah, I could play there, and once the opportunity came to be able to be traded, it was top of my list. So it was just kind of worked out in my favor that way.
We're going to go back to Zoom for one question, and then we'll come back to the room. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Thanks. We'll take the next question from Stephen Watson. Stephen, go ahead.
Hey, PJ, I know you're asked about Giannis a lot, and you have referred to him and a lot of the teammates as dogs. So I hope you indulge me on a fun question. What type of dog would best describe Giannis and what he's proven over the last 10 days?
Giannis like a Greyhound, like one of them just long, just paws, just fast, I think the one play, he took like 3 dribbles to go full court for a dunk. I was running and I was looking, I was like, did he just take 3 dribbles? Like, it was crazy. So yeah, he'd be something like that. Like everybody, these last few games, and just being around here, you just see like how hard he goes and his intensity and how focused he is on the game and just, dominating. And I feel like he's turned it up even more here in the finals, just locking in and figuring out the series and chipping away at it and trying to get better. Just time after time proving that he's one of the best, and he's still getting better. It's crazy.
Next question to Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
Just had follow-ups on both of the questions in the room. Steve had talked about trying to get used to this here. I know terminology and language is different in every NBA locker room. How much overlap was there, if any, between here and the other places you've been before?
I still mess up. I still say stuff from previous team. Like it's just when you're, especially in game, when you see things happen and you say something, all the time, guys are like, just correct me. They'll say it over after I say it because they're like, I know what you're trying to say, but it's this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I meant. And it's like, but you don't have that conversation. It's like in the moment. So that's something that's ongoing. You're just so used to calling blues and ices and reds. And everybody has different stuff. So you just got to kind of figure it out.
then the other thing I was going to ask about, you talked about sneakers. I was curious, what is having a Dolce collaboration drop during the finals like? I can't imagine you planned that. So
No, that just happened, and it was just, it just happened that way. It's because I'm not like you so locked in the finals. Like I don't post a lot. I ain't doing a lot of stuff right now. So just to let people know, it's like, oh yeah, this is going on too, by the way. But I'm gonna go back over here, finish the finals.
Back to Laurie. Go ahead, Laurie.
PJ, is there anything that you really like or respect about Pat Connaughton's defensive game or his pride in those hustle stats?
Yeah, Pat is not even defensive or offensive. I just love Pat. Pat is one of those guys, you just got it. Like, you got to have guys like that on your team. Like, Pat's like essential, and it's a guy that kind of like me, where you just don't, you don't got to run any plays for him. You don't got to do anything for him. He's going to mix it up. He's going to offensive rebound. He's going to go after every ball. He's going to be all over the place. And you just know when he goes in the game, he's going to play 1,000%. He's going to give you everything he got, good, bad, whatever it's going to be tonight. I'm going to give you what I got. And that's, you can only appreciate guys like that in this league because there's not a lot of them that can really do it night in, night out. And, Pat's one of my favorite guys. He loves coffee too, like me. So
He loves coffee?
yeah, we like coffee. Yeah, we both love coffee, so that's why Pat's my guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, PJ.
All right.